What is going on, Laker fans? Thanks for tuning in to my first time ever pregame live talk. There's a Lakers game coming on in 7 p.m. in Pacific time. And I'm just doing a brief preview of the game, the upcoming game, and some of the game around the NBA. Right now, the New Jersey Nets and Philadelphia are having the match, and it looks like the games are gone into the Nets' way. And there are a couple NBA news that I would like to announce today, as going around the league. Some of them are good news, some of them are bad, not a good news. First of all, Lakers earlier reported that they're looking forward to getting invited to the White House to celebrate their championship once the president's the change of president, which is coming in 2 weeks, and they're hoping that the tradition continues as the new president will be changed in the January the 20th, 2021. This is pretty good news. Most of the pro sports team was reluctant to visit the White House when Donald Trump was still in as a president, and they refused to celebrate in the White House. Even Golden State didn't in 2017. Even Cleveland Cavaliers, when Donald Trump became a president in 2016. Since then, none of the I think there's only one pro sports team that was invited to the White House, and it was very famous that he served them McDonald's for the meal. It was like a Big Mac and fries. It's terrible how he treated those the championship team with the fast food. The Adam Silver and the mayor of Seattle discussed earlier about bringing their team back to Seattle. They're not sure which team will be the expansion, but they talked and it felt positive, optimistic about starting a team again in Seattle. Seattle already had a basketball team back in before they became Oklahoma City Thunder, the Seattle Supersonics. And I remember in even early 20s, they had a team, and they're doing very well. The fans were very sad to see the team go, and they want to see the NBA could bring their team back again. And I think a lot of fans are still waiting for the Seattle to bring the team back. It'll be great for the fan base, and they'll bring a lot of fans to watch the game. And I'll be able to go watch the NBA game in Seattle once the border thing gets resolved. So live in Vancouver, it's pretty close, like 3-hour drive to get there. And I wasn't able to watch any of the Seattle sports game. I wanted to watch the Ichiro, like the Seattle Mariners, before he retires, but I wasn't able to, and I didn't get time to watch it. And it'll be very exciting if we can watch the Seattle game. Staying in Vancouver it's pretty boring. There's not much pro sports team going on other than hockey. They have a Major League Soccer team, which is a Vancouver Whitecaps, and it's not very popular. The soccer is not a thing in Canada. It's mostly hockey is dominated by all pro sports, which is very boring. Someone like me, I'm not a hockey fan by any means, and I've never been a hockey fan in my life. Always been basketball or is baseball. So I'm the one who feels strong about having pro baseball team here, because I think baseball population is also increasing. they're becoming more popular. Canada is somehow doing well in the national world stage. And even the Toronto Blue Jays, they only have Blue Jays team anymore because they used to have the Montreal Expos, but now the Montreals became the Washington Nationals. So Canada is pretty much losing a lot of pro team because they're not making revenue, not meeting the revenue. The fans base is getting decreased, and the owner's standpoint, it doesn't feel like it's worth investing on this team. Yeah, I understand the Vancouver case when Michael Heisley bought the team to make sure that the team resumed in Vancouver. That was his promise when he had on interview. Then he pretty much backstabbed on Vancouver fans. Then he found the investor who's willing to purchase the team in the States, like someone in the States, and will bring it to the Memphis. So it's a bitter memory for Vancouver fans. Like when we had a basketball team here, had a great number of fans. In the beginning of the expansion days, we were like a top among the NBA. I wasn't into Vancouver basketball because I was still very young, and I was a Laker fan since 1996. And now it looks like it's possibility of bringing another basketball team to Canada. I do feel that, and it will feel different this time because basketball popularity in Canada has increased since then. A lot more players, a lot more fans watch the NBA these days since Canada has very strong national team, and we have a lot of Canadian players playing the NBA. So I can only feel positive about bringing back the team in Canada. And it has to be Vancouver because they're the second largest market other than Toronto. And I feel like if we have a team again, we're going to succeed. It really depends how team perform. We can't be like Grizzlies in the back old days. They had a 23-game losing streak, and fans had nothing to really cheer for. When we had 98-99 season, when the NBA was shortened due to the lockdown, and we only had 8 games and 42 loss. That was just terrible season. Like I couldn't possibly imagine seeing a single digit win in a season, even though game was only played a 50 game. It was just terrible. You had like 10% of winning and you just expect to lose every game. No hope of team getting a win every single night. Feels like you have no chance against any team in the NBA. It's called desperation and despair for a fan standpoint. Now I'm lucky that I'm cheering for a team that's very strong, has a great tradition, great record in the history of winning 17 championship, going to the NBA Finals 32 times, and winning half of those in the championship. That's just remarkable. Like, I'm fortunate that I became a fan of Lakers and always positive about how Lakers are going. The way the teams are structured and the ownership, the organization, pretty much give fans a way to cheer for, because they give us, they prove us that they are willing to do anything to make the team contender. And of course, we had dark days, like we weren't able to even go to the playoff, and it was 6 straight years. You had to, sort of grasp every time the other team goes to playoff and then they play in the final. We had to watch it on TV and not being able to participate compete with the other great team in the West. But now, I feel like next 5 years, even longer, Lakers can just, be a top favorite team to compete in the NBA final. Even the experts will pick us as a favorite to win again. This year is the same thing. After winning in the bubble, it's been a thing. Like the Lakers, no other team than Lakers are favored to win right now. And look how pretty much our team not yet dominating the league by any means. We're trying to find our identity, but it looks like we're struggling, but we still have the good record. That is scary because 6-2, and none of the fans are saying that we're playing good. We're not playing the Lakers basketball, not the basketball that we used to watch, but we still look like we're playing good. That's how dominant and dangerous we look. This year is going to be totally fun to watch. Can't wait until our roster gets back on full strength, and then we get to play the perfect Lakers basketball. Just make fans cheer for something. It'll be exciting. And the game will begin in half an hour, and I'll be updating the news around the NBA. Just explain. Oh, and there's a new news came out of KCP. Today's Spurs game, he will be out. Kuzma will be the starter again. So KCP and Mike Trudell, according to the Laker reporter, KCP will miss tonight's game with a sprained left ankle. Expect Kuzma to again start in his place. There will be third straight games Kuzma is going to start. You can't say anything about Kuzma starting tonight because he hasn't shown much of promise. Except the one game, he hasn't put up a big number. He's been consistent, okay? He's been scoring double digits. But last game, he's only scored 5 points. But he had a good effect on the court. Like he had a plus margin, the highest in the team. That, I don't mind. I just want to see him doing other things than scoring. If shot is off that night, I want him to just get involved in offense, get involved in defense, try to stop the other teams penetrating. Give some kind of positive vibe to the team. So that he has a meaning to be the starter. I don't want him to just stand around, not trying to do, waiting for the ball from LeBron or Shooter. You want him to create off the ball movements, create his own shot. Give us something positive about the game. Basically, do something like just get involved, get assist, steal, block, whatever you can to stay in the game. Give Frank Wall a reason why he should be a starting player for this team. Feel bad for the KCP because he was playing well. He was playing well up to that injury. He was shooting like one of his best in his career. I hope fast recovery from KCP, and it's possible that Caruso will be in the lineup. He's definitely the guy who can give a positive energy to the team. He plays hard when he's on the floor. He never takes a day off. Always a positive guy. Always work hard. And those kind of guys you should appreciate every moment because you don't get to have a guy like Caruso in other team. Other teams just definitely want him. Lakers lucky to have him, right? They found him as undrafted and from the G League. It's a very rare case. LeBron and Carmelo Anthony. So there's LeBron's the rumor about LeBron wanting to buy owning WNBA's Atlanta Dream, and Carmelo Anthony also showing interest in owning the team. So they might go like a shareholder. When LeBron trying to do some side business while playing the basketball, which is a great investing after his retirement. You know, he owns the share of I think it's the English Premier League team, with Arsenal. Yeah, I think he owns Arsenal. Or Liverpool, yeah. He's a fan of Liverpool, and then he owns the share. So he definitely has the owners meeting. Sometimes he visit to watch the game. The Liverpool owners maybe have a meeting. Then he show up and then take a picture with the Liverpool players and the fans. So pro athletes showing interest in the business is a good sign, because they want to expand their wealth in a positive way. It's not like buying stock or buying a Bitcoin. It's not risky. You know, sports business, usually when buying a pro sports team, it's a good investment in the long term, especially if a team has a good tradition, a good record, and the fan base, and the team that will always be in the Division 1 and will be in the strong, considering as a UEFA Champions candidate, like a Liverpool. They have excellent play like Salah. You know, it is a very good investment. And there's a rumor about Kyrie Irving not showing up tonight's game. It's due to his personal reason. And the Steve Nash talked to Irving, and they did not hear back. So there's an issue, but Kyrie's personal issue, I think it just has happened a couple times before. And it's not the first time actually Kyrie Irving is absent due to a personal issue without telling the team his absence. And that is not a very positive sign. It will definitely affect the team chemistry. I don't know how KD feel about Kyrie Irving missing the game without telling the coach and the organization. According to a source, close, Kyrie said he's okay, but didn't know when he will return. So he did not give any return date. He didn't miss a game due to COVID-19 protocol. Doesn't look like it. He just missed the game. Maybe it has to do with the January 6th Capitol Hill riot, or call it a break-in. Maybe he was very disappointed how the country, the America, handled the situation. I, as a personal guy, and as a non-American, still very frustrated to hear the news about the Capitol Hill, and very disappointing to hear that. And there's nothing we could do. We couldn't do to stop that happening. And one of the country's president, how he handled the situation, and how he allowed the protester to enter the Capitol Hill and inside and vandalize the property, the government's property, and vandalize. Pretty much it's shameful. Shameful to the Americans, shameful to the world. They look like a third world country with how they handle the situation. Just pretty embarrassing for the whole country, the nation. That's how I feel. I think it could have never happened in a country like Canada, or even UK, a country that has a legislative system, a legitimate political system that people could rely on. America, they said they do have a democratic republic, a political system, but just look like a country without a system, without a proper system to really handle the situation. There are a lot of ongoing issues still going. with the racial social injustice issue. There are things that's very personal and it's very sensitive issue, and I will not mention it, but just have to say it's disappointing how the country is handling the situation so far. And the Boston Celtics and the Oklahoma City Thunder before the game had made a statement, signed the oath that they felt very sad about how Kenosha situation, you heard about the Wisconsin where the Jacob Blake was killed back in the couple months ago. None of the police were charged. None of the police that was involved in that case, in the crime case, was charged. I will be very frustrated. And they kneeled during the national anthem. So even the league promised that they will do something to negate the social justice issue. They have not shown any evidence that they are willing to resolve the case. Of course, they cannot resolve it. It'll be going for a long time. But at least they could show some action, or even owners would talk to the politicians, about fighting the law, changing the policies, and just show some evidence that they're trying hard. The league's not even involved in it anyhow right now. The issues are still going. Nothing is really resolved. And it's disappointing so far. All right, the games are starting 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, and I'm gonna head out. We're watching the game, and then I'll be posting the post-game recap on YouTube. And you guys want to check out? All right. Hope you guys talk to you guys later. Now, go Lakers.